Hey everyone, my name is Max, welcome to my channel, and in this video we'll take a very close look at this Cort KX500 Etched guitar. So this is the detailed review part 1, in which we'll put it under the microscope and I'll give you all the facts about this instrument. In the part 2, which will be published later, I'll give you my personal opinion and my feelings about this guitar. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my Instagram yet, I'd really appreciate if you do. That's where you can find beautiful close-ups of guitars, quick shootouts and demos on many different things, as well as regular updates on what's going on here and what I'm currently working on. Alright, now back to the video. As always, I'll be using my penalty point system, which means I'll be going through the checklist, and every time I see a problem with the guitar, it will be getting a penalty point. The less points at the end of the video, the better. And let's begin this in-depth journey with listening to what this guitar sounds like in the mix. There is a little bit of a confusion when it comes to KX500, because there is another guitar in KX series called KX500 MS. On my channel, MS usually means Max Solo, but in this case it stands for multi-scale, which is a completely different guitar. And that is also a 7-string, so the one we're looking at in this video is called KX500 Etched. It comes in 2 colors, black and deep violet, which is a new color for 2021. Fixed bridge, lock-in tuners, Fishman Fluence pickups and some other modern features. More on that later. As of today, which is April 25th, 2021, in Europe you can get this guitar from Tom for €749, same price but in pounds in the UK from Gear for Music, and unfortunately I couldn't find it at Sweetwater in the US, but it is available through many smaller shops across the country. As always, all links below, and if you choose to use them, that will support my channel and I'd really appreciate that, so thanks in advance. Okay, the unboxing. First of all, even though this looks like a regular Cort cardboard box, it actually isn't. It is longer, it looks like a bass could fit in it, but stickers on the top and the bottom of the box say KX500, so it definitely is a guitar. So what's up with the size of the box? Well, there are a couple of artifacts inside, as you can see, which were put here to prevent the guitar from flying inside the box. So yeah, this box was probably meant for a bass, but for some reason they've decided to put a guitar in it. Other than spare cardboard, you'll find tools, 3 Allen wrenches and a magic bar of truss rod adjustment. They were supposed to stay in the specially designed compartment inside the box, but they have successfully escaped. and tools flying inside the box have a potential of damaging the guitar. And let me remind you that KX500 costs more than 500 euros, so it falls into the price category where it is fair to expect some extras inside the box. I'm talking about a gig bag, which we don't see here, and as a reward for that, here's the first penalty point. The KX500 is a pointy guitar in a way, and as you can see, it has even penetrated the packaging, which I will remove. Okay, looks good. At the headstock we have a quality inspection card. It seems like the finish hasn't been checked, which is a bit weird, but okay. And the final thing here is a message from D'Addario, so we can expect the guitar to be equipped with strings by this brand. The protective foil goes off, and we can talk about the specs. The body of this guitar is made of mahogany. I found 3 pieces glued together. 1, 2, and 3. Here's what the wood grain looks like up close. According to the official specs, this guitar has an ash burl top, and this is indeed ash, although I wouldn't necessarily call it a top. I actually find this term, top, at the official website being not very transparent, and I believe many of you will even find it misleading, because what we have here is a very thin layer of ash on top of mahogany body. It is a veneer. If it was a real thick top, we would be able to see it here on the side, even though a part of it would still be hidden by this black plastic binding. So yeah, it is a veneer, and with that comes a penalty point. And by the way, the KX300 does have a proper thick top, even though it is more affordable. The front of the body is not flat, but slightly rounded. On the back you'll find a belly cut, and a little piece of wood is taken off the neck heel. There is a black plastic binding around the whole body. It is a bolt-on construction with a 5-piece maple and purple heart neck for improved stability. Although there is no volute. There is a matching ash burl veneer on the front of the headstock and an ebony fretboard, not particularly dark one. Just like the KX300, this one has a standard scale of 25.5 inches. The fretboard radius is 16 inches. Here's the neck profile at the first fret, and it is identical to Cort KX300 profile. It is thicker than modern Ibanez necks, and I would call it a D shape. Here's how it compares to other profiles I've measured before. Okay, now the same at the 12th fret. And again, it is identical to Cort KX300. Still thicker than Ibanez necks. Yeah, looks like a D shape to me. And once again, compared to other profiles. This guitar comes with Fishman Fluence modern humbucker pickups. Yep, you've heard me right, these are the real multi-voiced Fishman Fluences that can be found in much more expensive guitars. The hardtail bridge is pretty simple, and it's really easy to set and use. The strings go through the body, and you can tell those are D'Addarios, judging by those colorful ball ends. 10, 246 to be exact. String funnels on the back of the guitar are not flush with the body. Moving on to the headstock. The headstock says this guitar was made in Indonesia in February 2020. Here we have 3+3 locking tuners, and you can adjust how tight they are using these screws here. As I mentioned before, there is no volute here, and the headstock is angled, which means there is no need in retainers. This is the same ash burl veneer as on the body of the guitar. The official specs don't mention it explicitly, but this is a self-lubricating Graph Tech nut. And there is no truss rod adjustment here, because it is here right next to the neck pickup. The controls include volume and tone knobs and a 3-way toggle pickup switch. But there is more, because both knobs are actually push-pulls. The volume knob switches between 2 different voicings, because Fishman Fluences are multi-voiced humbuckers, and the tone knob is a coil split switch, so altogether you can get 12 different tone options from this guitar. There is a battery compartment on the back, well, because this guitar has active pickups, and this battery came with the guitar. And this is a good choice of the output connector, because it is compatible with all straight and angled plugs, and even if you have something exotic, like, let's say, Providence, or Lex cable with probably the smallest plugs in the world, it will still fit in and work without any problems. And if you haven't checked Lex cable patches yet, do that, they're really good. Reasonable strap buttons with black fluffy spacers between them and the body of the guitar, which is good. This is a matte finish, and they call this color Etched Black. And I would say you could really call it an open pore finish. It is really three-dimensional, smooth, but you can still feel the wood grain when you touch it. Matte open pore finish on the back of the guitar as well. The neck is satin, very smooth and fast, and the fretboard doesn't seem to have any finish on it. Here's the neck joint, looks very clean, and here's the other side. Altogether, this is a very nice finish. I looked for issues and flaws, but didn't find anything worth a penalty point. This guitar has 24 frets, but the specs don't tell us anything about the size of the frets, so let's check it out. Width and the height, which looks like medium jumbo frets according to Hosco FretWire specs. The fret job is consistent, but I have this guitar for a couple of months now, and it still has slightly sharp fret ends, unfortunately. And that brings a penalty point. Okay, let's check how many tools this guitar needs for a full setup, and from the usability perspective, it should not be more than 3, not including the truss rod range. Well, instead of the truss rod range, we have a magic bar that goes in here. An L wrench is required to adjust the action, that is 1. A Phillips screwdriver is needed to adjust the scale, tuners and pickups height, which I usually don't count, so that's 2. And there's another Allen wrench for the knobs, and that is 3 tools, which is good. All necessary wrenches and the magic bar are included. Speaking of tuning stability, this guitar has lock-in tuners, a fixed bridge, and a Graph-Tech nut with strings going through it in a straight line, almost. There isn't much of an angle here and the friction is low, so it has all the best components to stay in tune very well. Okay, let's put this guitar on a scale. 2.9 kilos, that is very good. 6.5 pounds, really? An incredibly low weight has its drawbacks. The guitar has a little bit of a neck dive. And in the sitting position, the neck dive is obvious, which means a penalty point. Okay, let's open the guitar and check if it's properly shielded. Yeah, it looks like that, and there's also an aluminum foil on the back of the cover. Here's a close-up of what's inside. You can see 2 push-pull pots, and unlike the KX300 model, this one seems to have proper shielding. Even pickup cavities are shielded. Very well. As I mentioned before, this guitar has 2 push-pulls. The volume knob switches between 2 different voicings. And the tone knob is a coil split switch. Let's listen to all possible pickup combinations through the clean channel of Hughes & Kettner Black Spirit 200. Let's compare the KX500 to another edged guitar from Cort, the KX300, which is a slightly more affordable guitar of the same series. And the main difference is that it comes with EMG retroactive pickups instead of Fishman Fluence. And here is what this guitar sounds like through the crunch channel. Good. For high gain, I'll be using PV6505 Plus. As always, for all sound examples, I used my favorite impulse response, which is a 1x12 speaker cab with a vintage 30 speaker inside. If you like the sound, you can, and I believe you should, grab the whole impulse pack at my website, link below. Let's test a couple of other things. Nobody likes crackling pots, so let's check how these two are gonna perform. Well, that sounded clean. Okay, listen to these, carefully. There's obviously some noise that should not be there. That's much better, and the guitar gets another penalty point. And if you want to learn more about better noise management, check my noise mechanics video. Alright, it's time for a recap. Cort KX500 Etched has earned 5 penalty points. One for a missing gig bag, another one for a veneer while a top was advertised, one more for sharp fret ends, well, that could be avoided, neck dive, which I believe is the price for a very lightweight body, and traditionally the final point is for the noise at the headstock. 5 in total, which is, I would say, overall a good result. More details to come in the part 2 of this video, so subscribe, stay tuned, give this video some likes, that will tell the YouTube algorithm to show it to more people, and yeah, leave me a comment below as well. And that's it for now, see you next week. Hey, you've reached the end of the video, and I really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually want to get to know you guys, so before you go, please leave me a comment below. Just, say where you're from, what is your favorite guitar or guitar pedal, and how you came across my channel. If you want to support what I do, other than Patreon, there's another easy and free way to do that. Simply show this video to one of your guitar friends who it may be interesting to, and share it, the video, not a friend, in guitar groups and communities on social media. There's never too many views, and that would really help me a lot. And other than that, Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video someday soon.